All right, everyone, we are here with two very special guests. We are joined by Amanda and Jordan from this season of Winter House. Season 3. We've been keeping up, and we are so excited that you guys are here to talk with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Okay, we're excited. We're going to jump into it. I want to know what the two of your relationship is like, because Jordan, you were on the show from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Amanda, you were sick, so you kind of just slid in there. And I felt like I missed, who does Amanda know? Who does she not know? So did you guys know each other before Winter House, or did you meet on the show?
I think we met on
there.
Yeah, we met on the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew nothing about, I don't think I knew anything about you.
Yeah.
I walked in and I just remember looking at you. You had no makeup on, and I just pulled you aside and I was like, "You are so beautiful."
Yeah. That did happen. Yes.
I was like, "Wow."
You have to when someone's beauty just strikes you like that.
Yeah.
You just have to let
Especially
them know.
when you're coming off of having whatever insane illness you had, that you're just your words just come out because you're just kind of delusional.
I was delusional. And I think the more the night before you had just been crying.
Yeah, that was my breakdown
too, and I had no idea.
Right.
So that must have been a nice little boost of confidence.
Yeah,
for you.
I mean, and I also was worried because you don't see it necessarily, but Kyle actually slept in the bed next to mine that night. And so we're talking about it, and I'm like, this is great. Your wife is coming. You're sleeping down here. I don't know what she's going to think about this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He fell asleep in your bed. Are you okay?
Sorry for his behavior.
Yeah.
What was it like going in? Because you showed up and then you were in it, and then you're like, guys, I got to sit this one out.
It was, I had neurovirus, coming out of both ends 24 hours before I arrived. The worst.
Awful.
I didn't even know
I cannot
what
be
it
in a
was.
house with new people with this going on.
No.
Yeah.
And it's everyone parties on, in the house. So it was, I was worried, but I was so glad that everyone was so hungover when I arrived because we were all on the same level. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just kept getting super nauseous every night, which I I normally go to bed early, so it was just another reason to bow out.
Right, exactly.
I was I don't think I can make it till 3 a.m. every single night.
Jordan, were you expecting the level of partying that these guys do? Because honestly, I don't know if impresses me is the word, but I'm shocked by it of every season that I see of every show.
When the producers hit us with the timestamp on the bottom of the screen and it's 4:30 a.m., I'm like, oh my God, what?
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I think I would be like, guys, I'm really tired. I'm going to go into bed.
And you guys were coming from the East Coast.
Right. The combination of all of it, that mixed with the altitude for me, because I'm not used to skiing, snowboarding, anything like that. So all of that had me deceased. Mm-hmm. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared.
Will get you.
I would have gotten an IV before, and I did get one during and after, because it's a lot.
One of our days off, Jordan went and got an IV.
Literally. I wouldn't have survived without it.
Right.
I feel like it's something you need.
Yeah, exactly. Jordan, what was your initial reaction for the group? Amanda, you've spent more time with everybody that's in Winter House. Jordan, there are some new people that I don't think that you spent time with. How did you feel?
I felt like everybody was new.
Yeah.
The little people that I had met, it was very much in passing at a party or something. It wasn't really that intricate. Danielle and I had a couple of dinners before. But I was a little intimidated. My Summer House Martha's Vineyard hadn't come out yet. So it was I didn't know what to expect. I don't know. I'm thinking about how I'm going to be edited there. I don't know. Yeah. I'm in this place that I don't know. I've never been. So it was a little intimidating.
Right. Doing 2 shows before the first, filming the second show before the first one even airs is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I don't know how
no
you
idea.
did that.
Yeah.
It's I don't really. Am I going to have 2 seasons of people being what is happening?
Right. Back to back? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just screwed myself twice.
Right, exactly. And you don't even know. You have no time to react.
Yeah, so that anxiety was there, very much present.
Did you know how far in advance, or did you guys even know who was going to be there on the show? The cast, full cast?
Somewhat, for the most part. Kyle always does his digging. Kyle can't go into things without knowing what's going on. So Kyle would
Kyle
just be talking
as a casting director.
He literally calls production, calls people at Bravo, calls everyone to figure so what about who's gonna be blah blah blah. Yeah. So I had somewhat of an idea. I think the biggest thing for me was making sure that at the time Tom Sandoval was not there because we were going to start filming 1 week after Sandoval broke.
And he was supposed to go.
Yeah. And I was like, how do I sit there and film a show where we're supposed to be getting along and having fun, knowing that all of this is going
and
on?
it would have like dominated the whole show.
1000%.
It would have been another season of Vanderpump just with a different group of people.
Yeah, and we're not that close. We didn't know exactly what's going on, and he would have wanted to like escape too. And I was like, I won't go.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. How did you deal with Tom Schwartz being there? Were you guys like pressing him for questions at all? Because obviously during that time, people want to know answers. Everybody wanted to know answers.
Because I came in late, I didn't want to like re-ask him everything. So I think there was more conversation the first few days.
I didn't really ask, to be honest. I felt like it was clear that he needed the time off. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna mind my business and I'll watch the reunion later. Right. But when he did record the reunion, I was definitely like, oh, what happened? That part, I was like, give me the tea.
No, as soon as you made friends a little bit, you were like, wait, now I can ask
you've had a week and a half. What happened?
As soon as he came back to the house after filming the reunion, we were like, tell us everything.
That's insane. Jordan, who do you think gave you the warmest welcome in the house?
Honestly, Kyle. I feel like Kyle and I had a very hilarious friendship that I wish they showed more of. But he definitely welcomed me with open arms, and anytime there was something that was going on, he'd check in with me. And I would say
he's good like that.
Making sure the new people feel
they both had a love for
welcome.
Music. He was very jealous of Jordan's DJing. Wouldn't let her DJ a lot, would just take the phone.
Still doesn't.
So, I mean, we're watching it, and it's been kind of more so than any of the other shows, I feel like, whether it's Summer House or Summer House Martha's Vineyard or like even past seasons of Winter House, they threw in a mix of people that we haven't seen together, and a lot of them are single. So there's been way more hookups so far that I think we've seen on any of the past seasons. How did you guys keep up with who was flirting with who and who was in what room?
I love staying out of this stuff, and I love just watching it all. Like, I love hearing about it and not really paying too much mind to it, but why don't you?
Yeah, I mean, a married woman versus single woman, and the guys were falling over for Jordan.
Me with all of your problems.
That was like our in-house
I'm
therapist.
living for the drama.
I mean, the first night was intense. There was definitely, some moves being made and missed. Then
poor Jordan having to navigate, just like stay back.
Hot tub
I did not like that.
So uncomfortable to watch.
Okay, I guess because now we know Alex and like we're friends with him, and we know how like harmless it was. I thought it was so iconic how slowly he moved. Like he was still testing the waters the whole time.
It was like he thought he was invisible or something.
It's almost like he was like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do? Are we going?
And my thing is like, I let him come all the way in, because if you're gonna do it, do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
You almost want to see, like, is he really gonna go all the way in slow motion?
Is he gonna keep
I'm not gonna like a green light.
Slow mo put his lips on my lips.
Right.
When you turned your head at the last second, I was like, yes, thank God.
I wonder if he would have came in faster, if you would have he would have been able to plant one on you.
Like, I was looking right at him.
I think you had so much time to think about it. He gave you like too much time to consider it, and you were just like, nah.
That was never. I wasn't feeling it in that moment. When he was like, "Oh, you're so gorgeous," I'm like, "And what does that mean? Like, are you?
Thank you. I have
even know my last name at this point. What are we doing?"
I'm glad to hear a different side of it coming from the people who were actually there, because watching it, I was like, I hate this guy. Like, there was no part of me that was like, oh yeah, she should. I was like, no. And then when Danielle hooked up with him, I was like, no. Like, why is anybody falling for this? And like Fran said, like the hookups, the flirting was all there. And I forgot who said it. They were like, so who got some last night? And I was like, I feel like it's never been openly talked about like this, right?
No.
Like right in the morning, everyone's waking up. It's like, who hooked up with who?
Right.
Which
I feel like we
obviously
all
makes
went
it
in there collectively, the single people and
just me and Kyle.
We were very much open to a little schmoozing.
Rendezvous.
Right? Yeah.
And was there anybody that you had like actually really did have your eye on? Because I know like there was some talks about Corey, but then Corey kind of really, I don't know, like kind of hid his relationship status and then shared his relationship status.
Right.
I don't know what was going on there.
That
but
was bizarre.
how did you feel about that?
I mean, it definitely wasn't clear at first. And I think that's why you see Malia and I kind of like, can we or can we not? We were kind of getting green light. Like there was no clarity. And then once that conversation with Casey happened, it was very clear. So I think after that, I was like, okay, I'm over this. This is too much. I'm just going to stick to Cowboys or nothing.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, with Corey, I think watching it, we were all confused because we know that he's with Sam, and it was like, okay, this is bizarre. Like, I think everybody knows that they are dating. You came in late. When you found out what was happening, were you kind of pissed a little bit, being like, Corey, you're dating Sam?
I mean, I was going to let Corey dig his own grave. Like, if he was going to do that, then, like, you know, he doesn't deserve to be with Sam. So I wasn't going to, like, try to block him. Right. Like, you know.
Like, show your true colors, because then you don't deserve her.
You're going to make your own mistake. But there were definitely a few times where I feel like I was, like, side-eyeing him, like watch yourself. Like, I'm going right. I got my phone on me, like, not blaming the girls. Like, this is on you if anything happens because you're in control.
Right, because he's not making it clear to everybody else.
Did Sam have any interest in doing the show, or she does come or not?
She does visit. Okay, she comes out. Yeah, I'm not sure what the whole situation was, but she does end up coming.
Okay, because that was an interesting dynamic too, with Casey kind of being like, she's all my friends say, friends who know her or whatever. Trash is like honestly the last word I would use to describe her.
Casey uses trash to describe herself.
Right. Yeah.
She calls herself a trash panda. Right. Like the way trash comes out of her mouth is just so natural. I wouldn't be surprised if her friends didn't even use that word. And in her mind, that was just like what she came up with.
It's kind of like a throwaway word sometimes. That can mean
a trash
like,
word.
Yeah, it's like can be used for a couple of different things. But I thought it was funny how she was like, that was, and kind of aware, where she was like, I think I was just reverting back to like mean girl ways, where you just like talk about somebody that you don't really know. And that's the initial reaction. You get caught up in the drama.
But they do have a lot of mutual friends. I think Sam has like dated one or two really close friends of Casey's. There's like a lot of crossover there, but they've just never met. And I'm sure, especially when you date someone, they're not talking like really nicely about their ex. So there's probably some of that mixed in there too. And Casey, I think, was just trying to hype you up.
I do. I really genuinely think she was just trying to like, I was like, I don't care. Like,
Right.
That's why you hear me say, I'm like, well, I'm from Jersey and okay,
and
cool.
so am
like,
I. We're just all trash.
Basically.
Long Island trash.
I'm Jersey trash.
Trash in the house.
We're all right here. Okay, so a lot of the hookups, a lot of the below deck girls, and I honestly, like, I've never really watched Below Deck, so I don't know too much about them, but they seem like a blast. And I feel like if you do, it makes sense for them to be a part of like a Winter House type show, because those yachties know how to party.
And they know how to clean.
Yes.
They're very well-rounded.
Did they clean the kitchen a lot?
Every morning and night.
Yeah.
They would like sometimes clean halfway through and then in the morning wake up and clean again. And I was like, you guys come back. If you're coming back, I'll come back.
Yeah. I mean this in the nicest way possible, the way I'm going to say this. I'm kind of referring to like, you know, when Vanderpump Rules, when they would like work at SUR, you know what I mean? Like they're actually working on a yacht.
That's
you know what I mean? Like they like really have a job where they have to do it. It's their job. Whereas like when we would watch shows where they're working at a restaurant, it's like they don't really work at the restaurant.
They're like, there's still so much drama. But I think that's like the biggest difference is because Below Deck is one that I haven't really watched a lot of, because there's so many of them and there's so much turnover and but you know the way people know them is while they're working. So they're completely different people when they don't have a boss, don't have a job to do.
Like they were really on vacation, like for real.
Yeah.
So I think
still working harder than most of us.
That's crazy. What did you guys think of the Katie and Tom Schwartz connection?
I think it's exactly what Tom Schwartz needed. And I'm glad Katie kind of just kept pushing it. I felt a little uncomfortable for me just because I knew him like as a married man, and friends with his now ex. It felt a little bit like wrong to like watch it happen. I felt inappropriate, but I think it's what he needed in that moment.
Yeah, I agree. He needed all the love he could get.
Yeah. He's just a confused man. Like when you he's like a lot, but he's just
we
a
were
lost
talking about
puppy,
the show last week, and we were
it
just like sometimes
work anymore. You know what I mean?
The Schwartz stick has washed.
It used
After
to
watching
work.
it for so long,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, I love him, so cute.
Like,
but now I'm like,
get
now
it
every
together.
time that
Yeah.
Schwartz is like, I'm just little Tom Schwartz.
Like,
we're like, all right, you're a grown man.
Right,
Like,
like
come on.
every time you see him, he's like, whoopsie daisy. It's like,
I know.
no, yeah,
It's like when he walks, it's like,
right. It's like, no, like it's time to get it together. Like it worked at one point. It's not really working anymore. And I think people are like,
worked for Katie.
Right,
New
right.
Katie.
And that's for
Right.
Floody.
Right, yeah.
But she was pushing him. She was kind of like, this is stupid. Like, I'm over this. Like, stop like acting like this
Yeah.
and like grow up and mature. And I think he needed that like kick in the butt.
He needs like every woman in his life to be like, grow the fuck up. Like that's what seems to be happening.
Most men do.
He's really ever
Not
had
all.
to kind of learn from his mistakes in a way, and we're all seeing it for the first time because even I watched Vanderpump from the beginning. I feel like even when he was with Katie, she would be trying to hold him accountable, but he would just get away with it. And so it's like it's hard to embody new traits if you're not really challenged to do it. And so I think this whole year obviously has been a challenge for him. So I hope he,
And it sounded
hardens up a
like
little
he
bit.
was
Yeah.
kind of learning because he does, talk about how he doesn't want to disrespect his, Katie. And do, any of that stuff like on camera and film it and whatever. So he was trying to learn.
Yeah.
He's trying to navigate, and I feel like he needs to learn to navigate life on his own.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I feel like he has lived life I don't even know if worrying about other people is the word, but like attaching himself to Sandoval and this person, and it's like he needs to just like lock in on himself.
This was the first time I think we've seen him without Katie and without Tom.
Right.
Like on his own.
Right.
Yeah, so he's probably like, what the hell do I do?
A true lost little puppy.
Just landed in Colorado. How did I get here?
It's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
But it did feel like Winter House fell at a good time for a lot of people to sort of have these like reboundish type flings on whether it was on camera or not on camera. Like with Danielle too, I felt it was sad. I was sad for her because obviously you're coming out of a breakup, like that sucks. But Alex was the perfect like distraction, I felt like. And it sucked that maybe you get a little too attached or whatever. I don't miss Alex having sex with her and then like going and talking to the other girls is not great.
Yeah.
No.
But Amanda, how has your relationship with Danielle been? Because even there was like in the past episode, there was like a second where Danielle was like looking for that someone to be on her side and she like wasn't quite getting it.
It took me also we had been drinking.
Yes.
All
yes,
day.
clearly. Yes.
And so I was a little slower to answer for multiple reasons. But like in my mind, I was kind of like, okay, if I had just slept with Kyle and then he was talking to someone, like doesn't faze me. So I was like, okay, let me put myself in like your shoes. If I just met this person, I was like, give me a second.
No, you were like,
wouldn't care.
You were cracking, maybe you were like, let me just like get in character for a second.
I really need to be like, okay, if I just met Kyle. And I also didn't want to like hype her up more. I think it was like a difficult thing to navigate. But I mean, Danielle and I are good. She really loves that loyalty of a friend, which I mean we all appreciate, but I also like to be honest with my friends and not give like false information just to have your back or just to take your side, because I don't want to like make you look crazy or feel crazy or seem crazy.
Yeah. Everybody needs a friend like that.
Yeah. That's what Sierra and Paige hate and love about me is I always play devil's advocate, because I'm like, before you work yourself up too much,
Right.
what if, it wasn't
that
really
friend,
like
though.
that.
Yeah.
But Danielle and I are good. I think, the Robert stuff with her ex was hard to come right out of. And there was something that happened like right before filming too. But she really like kept her head up and just was doing whatever made her happy. And I think that's exactly what she needed, no matter how, it ends or how it goes throughout the winter. She needed everything.
Yeah, definitely. You guys are the first Bravo folk that we have had in here post BravoCon. How was it?
I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
Like I'm
You guys both
still
looked
unwell.
amazing.
Amazing
Amazing
outfits were
outfits.
incredible. bringing
we tried.
it.
Yeah, we worked hard.
We always text about our outfits.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, so what are we doing?
How much preparation goes into the outfits / like, is that the most stressful part?
Ooh, yeah.
My most stressful part was my hair. My hairstylist dropped out like the day before.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh
nightmare.
my God, who's going to take care of these wiglets?
Yeah.
So that was stressful. The outfits, I was like, listen, I'm hiring somebody. I'm giving the mood board. You do what you do.
Well,
Tell me
even,
what
I mean,
do.
I work with the stylist for like those looks too. And even that for me is stressful because I'm like, yeah, you could put together an outfit, but does the outfit look like it's wearing me? Because I feel like that happens to me so often in like finding a personal style. But it was
totally
weeks.
trying to like wearing something that's super trendy, but you're like, I know that this is cool, but is it cool on me?
Yeah, it looks like someone like put my head on like someone else's body. But yeah, there's a lot of like back and forth with the clothing stuff. And also you're wearing it all day, so you want to be comfortable, the shoe situation, it's a whole thing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We get to have like fun with the looks too. It's like our own little like concert show type thing. But draining. I slept for a week straight after.
I can imagine, especially
Vegas,
going
man.
from here to Vegas and then it's nonstop. You wake up super early in the morning, you're going all night long. Is there a lot of like gossip and rumors swirling around while you guys are there, like being texted? Because everybody's in one place, like every Bravo celebrity all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some tea being piped down.
Right.
But not as much as I was expecting. I thought there was going to be scandals all over the place. I'm a little disappointed. I thought it was going to be like reading books.
I know. I feel like there's probably still. I feel like there was more like tea with like the housewives and stuff too.
Always the housewives every year at BravoCon. They let loose a little bit. It's like when they go on vacation. We see it every season.
Did you have any barefoot run-ins with Giselle and
Actually, so yes, I had my shoes on.
Yes.
Okay, the whole time. And that bathroom was so clean that I walked into that one time. Can I just say it was 3 stalls. It was like a private restroom, but whatever.
If you have to take your shoes off for any occasion, whatever, you're gonna go wash them. Right? You're gonna go take a shower. I have no problem.
It's the bottom of my foot.
I have walked.
Yeah, like who's looking at it? Kyle's not.
What else is it touching?
Kyle's
the ground.
not on his feet, so it wasn't like you know.
I have walked on the streets of New York City after a night out with no shoes on.
Who
hasn't?
You have to.
If you're not a 20-something-year-old coming home drunk from the bar without your shoes on, you haven't experienced New York.
You didn't go hard enough, and you just wash your feet
one time.
Get in the shower.
Yeah, so I did run into them. Actually, Giselle posted on her Instagram story. She was barefoot, standing in front of her, like a picture of herself, and she was like, you know, she said something cute and like tagged me in it. But it's like it's all love there. It was just a fun, silly little moment.
Yeah.
But I guess Robin is like a big germaphobe, so it was really gross to her, which I understand.
You know, the people who really like you can't touch.
I didn't say it wasn't gross. I just said I didn't care.
Right. Right. Exactly. Big difference.
Totally. I get that. Yeah. I get that completely.
How was the Bravo Awards? I watched them on TV and I was like
multiple times
on cable.
I didn't see it.
They replayed it so many times.
Do you just have it like streaming like Bravo
like
constantly?
When I had it on a TV in a hotel room when we went to live show, she was like, the Bravo Awards are on. This is the 3rd time I'm watching them. I'm like,
I will say this.
Change the channel.
This was during a time where we were traveling a ton for our shows, and you're in the hotel room and you put on cable. Yeah, and it's like the best. Like when you're in a hotel and you're like, ooh, what's on cable? Right. Bravo. There you go. And she came in the room. I was like, this is my 3rd time watching the Bravo Awards.
Okay, so what was your favorite part of the Bravo Awards?
Listen, it's been a little bit now. My memory's faded. You know what I thought was funny? When Andy played that game that nobody understood and they thought he was talking about himself. When he was like, I'm the best dressed at the Bravo Awards. And everyone put up disagree.
Yeah, oh my God.
And he was like, I'm not talking about myself. I mean you. Like, I am the best dressed at the Bravo Awards. That was funny.
I loved Vicky's Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes.
That was really cute. I thought that was really cute. There was
the performance he gave.
Yeah. There was a lot of bathroom breaks that no one was allowed to take that everyone just kept taking. Right. Like everyone just kept getting up and going, and I thought that was funny. There's a lot of people don't follow the rules. Right. They're all above and more important than any of the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Every single one of them.
How was how was seeing like the Carl and Lindsay interactions in real life?
As to be expected.
Yeah.
Like,
was that the first time everyone had been with them all together?
yeah, that's
Like,
the first time we'd
yeah.
all been together, but not the first time they'd seen each other.
Yeah.
They were at the Winter House premiere party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'd gotten together like once or twice, like in passing, I think, at their apartment too. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be uncomfortable for a while, honestly, I think, until the show airs.
Right.
Right, because they have to
know.
live through it again.
Yeah.
And then have everyone's opinion on it.
Yeah.
And Jordan, Martha's Vineyard, you filmed this whole second season.
Yep.
How did you feel about that? You feel good coming out of season 2?
I don't know how I feel, to
Yeah.
be honest, other than fatigued. She
She worked hard.
I really, I threw an epic party that hopefully you guys will see.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting. The dynamic is changed a lot because obviously Silas wasn't there. Jasmine, was pregnant, is pregnant still.
Yes.
So it's different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more spicy.
Okay.
Definitely more partying, but also more long chats. So,
Well, I do like the sound of that because I did really like the first season, but every new show needs a little spiciness.
Yeah.
There needs to be some hookups. There needs to be some single people that
Right.
get,
Definitely.
stir it up a
Yeah.
little bit.
yeah.
Right.
But I was happy. Well, I was excited when I saw that you guys were renewed for the second season.
Jordan texted me like midway through filming and she was just like overwhelmed. I'm like, you got this.
Yeah.
If you're having all these conversations, that's because you're important. Okay. You were important.
She did say
and you
that.
were needed.
That is so fair and a good person to go to as far as like Amanda's done
sure.
many summer
Yeah.
seasons. Like I can,
I've seen it all.
yeah.
the go-to therapist. I'm like
Yeah.
dead ass. She is the one that'll
It's
be
like, you call
listen.
me, but you
Right.
got this.
Yeah.
Amanda, do you ever feel like now that you've done a ton of seasons, are you like, guys, should we go somewhere different, or is that not in the cards?
Every year, I'm like, I will go anywhere by a body of water, somewhere warm. Like, please send me anywhere else. I don't think it's happening. I'm like, let's do a winter house
pretty
somewhere
solidified now.
tropical.
I think like I don't know if it was Lindsay or somebody posted or pitched like a young
Ultimate girls
trip
It should be
of
a thing.
that age group.
I call
That
it
would be
the,
so
the
good.
younger generation.
Yeah,
Bravo.
like the younger generation all on a trip would be so fun.
So
whether it's
good.
like Summer House, Below Deck, Vanderpump, like mix it all up, put them all.
a bunch of girls.
Send you guys like Turks and Caicos or
Yeah,
something.
do like
please.
one that's like all
It's
the
the
quiet
request.
girls, and then one that's all like the spicy girls.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I don't know why.
I would watch.
I think that they will do that soon enough.
I want to go and be
it's only
off
a matter of
camera.
time.
I just want to go and watch it.
Yeah,
happen.
you're like, I'll just book my own trip and watch
Yeah.
it from afar.
I'll pay for the hotel. I just want to be there.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up, but
Loverboy
we're gonna
sponsor.
do a quick little Winter House superlatives.
Okay.
You guys were there for a couple
3
weeks.
weeks,
You
yeah.
know, you're there. You get to know each other pretty well. But it's like you graduated from Winter House. So superlatives for this season. Who was the best, the most problematic?
Ooh, that's spicy.
I love her, but I think towards the end, Danielle definitely became.
So I mean,
That's
yeah,
totally fair. That's
yeah,
totally fair.
yeah. I mean, look, it from the viewer, it seems to be trending in that direction.
Yeah.
I love her. It's,
know?
it's for she's going through it. But
Exactly.
It definitely.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
that's
She was
why
a lot
like
going
she's
on.
allowed to be have that
Yeah.
role
Yes.
right now
Yeah,
because
exactly.
like you're allowed to have
Not in a
that after a
bad
breakup
way.
like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
Yes.
Who was the biggest grandma or grandpa?
Me.
Yeah.
Easily. Maybe you right behind me
Yeah,
sometimes.
I'd probably be next after that.
I think I'd go to bed first and you
Me
were
or
right-
Casey.
yeah.
It depended on the day. Yeah.
You love to be comfy, cozy.
In
Same.
bed.
Yeah.
I was on the top floor too. So even when I was in bed, I could still hear everyone hanging out and having fun. So I felt like I was
Yeah.
part of it.
But you're like, except I'm laying down and
oh
uncomfortable.
yeah, in my jam. Every night I'm like, let's get into our comfies.
Oh my God. As soon as I walk into the
A
door.
onesie brunch was
Brilliant.
amazing.
Brilliant.
That's why we're here.
Best and worst drunk.
Best drunk. Casey.
Casey is my favorite drunk.
When she's
Casey's my favorite
out of
drunk.
control.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Her looking for her phone and it being like in the cabinet is really.
She looks for
very
She was looking for, I think, her jacket one night. She even left her jacket. We were all together on Tuesday. We went back to our place. She left her jacket
wondering why she didn't have
at
a
my
jacket.
apartment. I had to bring it to her
There you
this
go.
morning. She's always losing everything. And then the worst drunk.
I'm gonna have to say Danielle on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only because I think that's when all the things start coming
Go
up.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
We saw it in
But
the
we
trailer.
love her. But Danielle's
Yeah.
also simultaneously one of my favorite drunks.
And I do think she was aware of that too. Like that scene, she was giving him so much shit at the party, but then waking up, she was like, I almost murdered you last night.
Right.
I had a knife in my hand.
She
So at
owns
least she
it.
can laugh about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Least problematic.
Brian.
I was gonna say Brian, but Brian gets a little
gonna say Brian.
mischievous.
Yeah.
Spicy.
He gets least
Um,
problematic.
Katie.
Maybe. Yeah.
Katie?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
I would
say
say Floody. Yeah.
Best winter style.
I loved.
I'm gonna give it to myself.
I was gonna say Jordan or
Yep.
Danielle.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Danielle.
Yeah.
Also there. Yeah.
Jordan and Danielle definitely.
I
Danielle
like
with
that.
the coats for sure.
Yeah.
I borrowed
good
something.
coat.
Her
every day.
winter wardrobe is like so opposite
Yeah.
of Summer House.
I feel
It's
like she
great.
also has that because she spent so much time in Aspen. Like she
Yeah.
has that good. She knows
Yeah.
how to dress for that for Colorado.
Biggest flirt.
Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
everyone-
That
That's
one's an easy one.
I was
right?
thinking Corey, but then I feel like he got in check a little bit.
Yeah.
and then-
Even with me, I have to be like Alex. Like, come on, be appropriate.
He does not discriminate. He hits on the guys too.
Yeah. He really seems to just appreciate a pretty person.
Right.
He does. He does.
Like-
and we accepted
And he
it.
tells you that, which is nice.
He's open about
I was
it.
like,
That's
Carl's
what I'm
not
saying. We love a
complimenting me.
compliment.
Come on, keep it going.
Yeah, right? Most awkward, or who had the most awkward moments, you think?
You were on the receiving end of the most
Yeah,
awkward
I was gonna
moments.
say. I feel like I was witness to a lot of it.
Yeah,
Right.
but I think Brian
Yeah, Brian, 1000%.
most awkward.
Yeah.
Just most awkward.
Ogre.
Period.
All the little comments. Yeah, him.
Calling
Yeah.
his mom.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my god, he has
funny.
a few funny comments for the rest of the the rest of the season. It's great.
Amazing. Well, we've loved watching it. We're going to continue. Winter House, Wednesday nights.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
I was going to say, it's because I don't want
Because
I
you're
watch
not
on
watching it
Peacock on
live.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday night is Beverly Hills
Tuesday
in Miami.
on Bravo, Wednesdays on Peacock.
Yes, Tuesday nights on Bravo. Where she's watching. Maria's watching live on Bravo. I'm watching the next day on Peacock. That's why I was like, I watch every Wednesday. Yes. Tuesday nights on Bravo. What time are you guys on? 9 p.m. Eastern. You can tune in live or you can watch the next day.
On Peacock.
And
Or
if
the
you're,
day after
if
that.
you're tuning in live, there's one person you can talk to.
Yeah. If you
Want to chat with me?
Rhea, she will
I will be
answer.
watching live every Bravo show live on cable.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.